is so misleading.
Alright you guys, so we're gonna do the eyebrows later, but first we're gonna place a base on the ball of the eyelids, and for that I'm using my NYX Jumbo Eyeshadow Pencil in Milk all over my eyelids in a very kind of thick layer, and then we're gonna blend it out, and also on my lower lash line as well, because the blue we're gonna be using is super pigmented, but I wanted to have something to grip on, and that way it's just going to be a lot easier to blend and it's gonna look a lot more intense. So just blend it out. I don't have any foundation on or anything like that because I was afraid about fallout, although the blue that I'm using is actually really amazing quality, so I was actually really surprised because blue eyeshadows tend to be very chalky and have quite a bit of fallout, but this one doesn't, so you're gonna see what I'm gonna use in a minute. So just have a nice and even base. Whatever you have left on your finger, you can just apply it on the brow bone. Next I'm going in with my Coastal Scents eyeshadow in the shade Indigo, and this is just a beautiful, beautiful bright violet blue, and I'm using my Sigma E55 brush. So this is just a short shaded brush, and I actually dampened this one with my Fix Plus spray from MAC. So it's going to make the pigmentation of the eyeshadow even more intense. Just in a patting motion, you will notice no fallout, like whatsoever. So we could have done our foundation, but because I never used actually this eyeshadow, and because of my experience with all other royal blues and intense blues and blues in general, it's something to do with the chemical substance of it. Like the blue pigment just doesn't stick that well. So you don't want to apply this anywhere past the crease because that will make the look seem like you have a blue eye or a black eye, and also you don't want to go past the outer corner because we have to blend out this shade now. And I'm also applying it on my lower lash line. This doesn't have to be perfect because, as I said, we're gonna blend it out. Now I'm using my Coastal Scents eyeshadow in the shade Chamois Nude. These eyeshadows I'm using are actually from the Hot Pots, and the brush I'm using with it is an Sigma Blending E25 brush. And I'm just gonna apply it on my brow bone, and this will help the edges blend a lot more easier and also highlight a little bit. So I obviously don't have my brows on as well, so everything is a bit weird now, and you might be thinking like, what the hell is she doing? But when we get everything over, you're gonna see how nice it looks. So just apply a nice even layer of color. Alright, next I'm gonna take this very warm toned color. This is actually called Bittersweet Orange, also from Coastal Scents. This is more of a satin finish, not matte, not really shimmering, but it's a very warm tone, and it's really gonna go very nice contrast with the blue. And you definitely want to warm up this look because if you leave it too cool, it can really look like you have a black eye, and you don't want that probably. And I'm using the same Sigma E25 brush because it's really nice for blending out the color. So I'm gonna start working it into the crease and also on this outer corner, blending out the color. And you do want to take your time with this step. The blue is very intense and it might take a bit to actually blend everything out. So just focus on feathering out the edges. And then I'm going to use this Timeless Taupe eyeshadow, also from Coastal Scents, and I'm actually using their natural crease brush. And no, I'm not sponsored by Coastal Scents, I just happen to have a shade that I wanted to use in a tutorial, and the quality is really nice. So
it takes everything we have to face it. Without a sound, we take a step.
Alright, now I'm using my L'Oreal Super Liner Intense So Couture Edition, and this is in black, and I'm just going to line my eyelids and also do a little bit of a wing just to, I don't know, I feel like it, and that's what I'm going to do. So if you don't like doing wings or you feel it's too much with this look or whatever, you don't have to obviously do this step. Alright, so I just removed any excess blue pigment underneath my eyes, and now I'm gonna curl my lashes with my gross lash curlers from Tarte. I think I really need to get new ones because mine is getting kind of old and gross. So after that, we're gonna use a little bit of my Estee Lauder Double Wear Mascara in black, which is currently what I've been loving, but make sure you apply generous coats on the lower lash line. I haven't been really wearing much on my waterline lately just because it's been getting really hot and I feel like it melts off my eyes very easily. so I prefer just using a lot of mascara, long-lasting mascara. Alright, so for lashes I'm using these beautiful ones from Laminque in the style Velvet, and as you can see these are very dramatic and big, but beautiful and will complete the look perfectly, so I'm just gonna pop them on my eyelids. I do have a separate video on how to apply lashes, so if you're interested, I'm gonna have the link. Alright, so while I'm waiting for the glue to dry, I'm gonna complete the rest of my face. Alright, so the first thing I'm gonna do is my foundation, and for that today I'm using my Vichy Derma blend in the shade Opal. And this is my Sigma 3D HD Kabuki brush, and this is the best brush to apply foundation, I swear. So I'm just gonna apply a little bit on the top of it, and then, if I can find my mirror, there we go, I'm just going to apply it on my skin. I'm mostly just dabbing it into my skin rather than dragging it around, because that way I'm going to get the most coverage out of my foundation. And when you're doing an intense look like this, I really do think it's important to have your skin as perfect as possible. And to highlight underneath my eyes, I'm going to use my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer in the shade NC15, which is the best concealer for highlighting, because it doesn't get too cakey underneath the eyes. The brush I'm using for that is actually my Sigma 3D HD Precision brush. And then I'm just going to quickly do my brows off camera, because I do this in every tutorial. I'm using my same L'Oreal products that I use in every one of my tutorials, and if you'd like to see like a full video on my brows, I can totally do this for you, but it gets kind of boring doing it every single video, so I'm just going to skip it this time. Then for my bronzer, I'm going to use my Glam Bronze La Terra bronzer, and this shade, I believe it comes in just one shade, yeah, one Leggero, God knows. So I'm just going to bronze up my skin. And this is going to be the main part of the cheeks, so basically I'm not going to use too much blush or anything like that. I just want to have a nice glow and have the rest of the skin very natural, because the eyes are so intense. So I'm going to apply it almost like blush also on the apples of my cheeks and blend it out. And just the tiniest bit, and when I say the tiniest, I literally mean just a dab of the Sigma blush for Cute. This is just the brightest pink ever, and I'm literally hardly getting the brush in the pan and just applying it right to the apples, blending it into the bronzer. And I'm actually using my viewfinder as a mirror, so I'm not checking myself out too. For the lips, I'm first going to line the outside part of my lips with my NYX lip liner in the shade Natural. So I'm just going to follow my natural, okay, I cannot speak and do this. I'm just going to follow my natural lip shade. And then I'm going to fill in the inner part of my lips with my NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in the shade Stockholm, which is just a soft brown, so it's going to fulfill the lips perfectly. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and make sure you're following me on Twitter and Instagram, and if you'd like to like my Facebook page, the links are going to be at the top of the description box below this video, and I'll talk to you guys soon in my next one. Bye!